sometimes if we look at the industry, we look at the market, like right now on CoinMarketCap, and we see how many cryptos that exist. We see a number of over 18 million. There are over 18 million different cryptocurrencies, and they are listed here elegantly based on their market cap. And there are so many options, there's so many choices that you can pick from, and every cryptocurrency has their specific niche, whether it's a blockchain, it's a utility token, it's a stable coin, or it's a meme coin, you name it, right? So there's so many options to pick from. The point we're trying to make here is that it's becoming more and more difficult to pick a winner out of the 18 million different cryptocurrencies. And obviously, not all 18 million are going to make it and stand out and have a significant market share. So what is it that sets cryptocurrencies apart, and what is it that we can look forward to? One thing for sure is that there will be a smaller group of blockchains, utility tokens, that will literally demand, or rather command and dictate market shares more than others. There will be monopolies, there will be duopolies, oligopolies, and so on and so forth. However, what is it that we have to pay attention to? What is it that we have to look for to identify such cryptocurrencies? And this is what this video today is about. Just briefly to touch on the market, it's recovering again right now, slowly recovering again, as we saw the president again implementing. There was a 3-month pause on tariffs, but now he's igniting the whole process all over again. And we see here that the major players like Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, the top 4 or 5 cryptocurrencies were literally just based on Trump's announcement of 30% tariffs on Europe region and Mexico. It caught the market off guard and caused some volatility, and that's why the markets were really tanking for a while. And now, as we saw, it's on recovery mode. So just wanted to really touch on that to just justify, or rather highlight, the reason why the markets were so volatile earlier. But let's get back to today's topic. There's something known as winner takes it all, especially in an industry where there's so many cryptocurrencies, and there's obviously not all of them are going to make it. There'll be standouts, those that really will stand out and literally dominate and command market caps and really be household names that are used. And how do you determine that? How do you understand how to pick these winners? And this is what we really want to cover in this session today, understanding the dynamics of a winner-take-all markets. There's something known as winner-take-all, and yes, it's not a myth. It's a reality, especially in the digital technology space. And this is why we need to pay very close attention. So let's kickstart. A winner-take-all markets have existed for a long time. Right. So this is not a myth. This is not something that just started today or the past weekend. And it's not even a niche in the crypto industry or finance. Actually, it's in sports, in politics, entertainment, and even other sectors, right, of the economy. And just to make as an example, for example, in sports, the beautiful thing is that typically there's only one team that wins, right? 2 teams go into a final, but then there'll be only one winner that leaves as the champions. Same thing on national elections, right? There'll be starting maybe 5, 6 individuals, even more contenders, but then at the end of the day, there'll only be one elected president. And same thing is also in a competition, right? So the entire prize is claimed by one competitor. Everything goes mainly the highest price, the prestige, goes to one individual. So again, it's not just the prestige though of being the sole winner in the competition and the price that goes with it. However, it's also the winner often also gets increased coverage, right? All the media attention, and also it increases its competition, its competitive edge, right, in their respective industry that they're in. So it comes with not just prestige, but it comes also with attention, and you even gain even more competitiveness on top of that. And that's how you gain market share. So that's in politics, that's in individual sports, and that's in specific niches. But what about business? In business, it's different. The situation is completely different. In a competitive market, there is no just a single person holding 100% of it all. However, the winner take all company achieves the largest market share. So in business, it's about market share, right? How much market share do you own? And usually it's not 100%. But we're going to make an example here with Google shortly. So usually there are one, two, or even only a few companies that may be in play. However, they only play as small niche companies, as we're about to see with Google. If you look at Google, for example, they are the best example for winner takes all. If you look for searches, mobile searches on mobile phones, Google's market share is close to 96%, 95.5%, right? And of course, there are other ones that most of us are probably not even familiar with, known as DuckDuckGo or Yahoo. But these are all niche players. And look how small, how tiny and insignificant really their market shares are, 1.6 and 1.5% respectively. So you realize that indeed, in terms of Google search using your mobile phones, Google market share is completely dominating. It's literally a winner takes it all. Now, we have to really differentiate how this works. It's because it's not in every industry that this phenomenon works. It's not in every industry that a winner can really take it all. And let's differentiate which industry can achieve that and which not. So it's mostly in technology. Mostly they're tech companies, right? So let's set that apart. Tech companies with digital goods and services are the ones that literally are always more likely to be a winner takes it all. If you are a company that produces or sells physical goods, you are generally not a winner take it all market, because even though there are many, or you might have many successful companies selling physical goods and services, you might have even large market shares, but they tend not to be they tend to be oligopolies, right? More than two or three of them. But to really exhibit a monopoly, it's usually a tech company with digital goods. So like we said, only businesses with digital goods and services have the potential to achieve a monopoly or near monopoly status in the industry. Now, let's really underscore that. You have to be a tech company with digital goods and services. Example of digital assets, digital goods is the crypto industry. So in its nature, digital assets, the cryptocurrency industry, in its natural nature, it's already designed to be a winner take it all. Let's understand that, right? So such industries have exponential characteristics which create the winner takes all market dynamics. So if you play your hands right and you make the right choices early on, and you choose your winner takes it all early on, like we are right now in this new cutting edge technology, you reap the most. We as an industry, we as a community will reap the most out of all of this, because this is something that is in the nature of this industry, of this technology, because it's based on digital assets, as we're about to see. So typical assumption is that in the economics, physical goods business include scarcity and decreasing returns. So physical goods are literally, you can make too many of them, causing inflation. Real estate, for example, you can always build so much more homes. Same thing with stocks. You can always issue more shares and so on and so forth. So scarcity is a great commodity to have. If you can create scarcity and less supply than the demand is, that's the situation you want to create, right? And that's what we are faced with right now. So if you have digital goods that you can digitize, as we're about to see, that's where you want to really stand out. So another thing I want us to highlight also is that digital goods have something known as the Moore's law and the Metcalfe law. And let's look at them without getting into too much detail, but they're very important concepts for us to understand. So Moore's law states that at a given cost, right, computing power doubles every 18 to 24 months. That's the law. So one of the factors behind the exponential characteristics of digital goods, right? So in an age of AI, computing power like cloud computing, cloud storage, and so on and so forth, we see this actually increasing even much faster. And it's been known that actually with the computing power that we have and the AI that we have, it's actually doubling, not every 18 to 24 months, but every 3 months. So this happens even faster now. So instead of waiting 1.5 to 2 years to double your dominance, your market share, you can do that with cloud computing right now. And with AI, you can double every 3 months. So imagine how much faster you can dominate market shares if you are the winner takes it all. And another thing is the Metcalfe law, like we said. This is another important thing. So as digital product becomes more valuable, it becomes more valuable to users as the number of its users increases. Does this sound familiar? It's the network effect. We know this. This is known as the network effect. The value of digital assets is not based on the physical goods production, but rather on its usage. The more users are using the platform, the more valuable it becomes. That's the Metcalfe law. So these are the two things. How fast does your market share double? Secondly, how valuable your platform becomes, not based on your physical goods that are produced, but based on the adaptation and usage of your platform. These are all natural features that come along with blockchain technology. It has network effect, and it has the digital features of being able to double every 3 months in terms of market share based on adaptation and usage, because it's both an asset and a technology in one. So now that we understand that, let's look at the current market leaders right now. In which areas are these industries literally leading? So if we really pay attention, let's look at some markets here in digital markets, because now that we understand that we're in a digital world, and it's digital assets that literally can have the potential to double every 3 months. And also through the network effect, we realize that the network, the platform, become more valuable. 60% of stablecoin usage are already on Ethereum. So this is where the competitive edge is, right? This is where majority of stablecoin, which are digital fiat currencies, are taking place. If we look at another large asset class, which is the bond market, tokenized bond market, where is the most activity taking place on which blockchain? It's also on Ethereum. Over 75% of digital treasuries, digital assets, are taking place on Ethereum, as we can see. And then finally, if we look at commodities such as gold, right? Where is that taking place? Same thing, but this time it's over 99%. So we get the idea. Even now already, we see in terms of stablecoin, digital fiat, digital treasuries, and digital commodities, they're predominantly on Ethereum. That's where it takes place. So you already see that this niche is literally already cornered and captured by Ethereum, where it's all about winner takes it all. This is where all the infrastructures are being built, majority. If you're talking about lending and borrowing like Aave, majority of that takes place right here on Ethereum. If you're looking at decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, for example, which is the largest decentralized exchange that usually even trades more than even some centralized exchanges, it's also on Ethereum predominantly. Stablecoins predominantly are being minted on Ethereum and then bridged over to layer 2s and other blockchains and so on and so forth. And to emphasize this even more, to show you the impact of winner takes it all, is what Tether just decided to do. Tether just decided to literally stop issuing USDT stablecoins on these 5 blockchains. Omni, it's a blockchain. Probably we are not even familiar. Most of us are probably not familiar with these blockchains. Bitcoin Cash blockchain, Kusama blockchain, EOS, and even Algorand. And they want to shift their focus on layer 2s. What are layer 2 blockchains? Layer 2 blockchains are blockchains developed based on EVM, based on Ethereum. So we see where all this is shifting towards. And what's their argument? Why are they stopping these issuing their stable coins to these blockchains? It's simple. That Tether will discontinue support of USDT on 5 lesser used blockchains. Why? Because the decision is due to declining usage of USDT on these networks. Why is that the case? Why is the usage declining on these networks? Because there is a winner takes it all, and majority predominantly right now already is on Ethereum. That's where majority is taking place. So they're actually removing stable coins from these 5 blockchains. That's what we said. Yes, there are so many blockchains, so many utility tokens, so many meme coins, so many staking platforms, but that doesn't mean that all of them are going to survive. Eventually, there'll be those that stand out the most that literally will be the winner takes it all. Let's look at one final article here. And this is something we're familiar with. It says in the 1960s, in the 60s, IBM dominated mainframe market. And to this day, it still does. In the 80s, Microsoft and Intel dominated the PC software and processor markets. Even to this day, they still do. Same thing in the 90s when the internet came, right? World Wide Web. The winners were Google in search, Amazon in e-commerce, and Facebook in social networking. And to this day, they still do. And finally, 2007, Apple and Google, which is Android, they've been dominating the market of mobile internet operating system, or better known as applications, through App Store, right, on Google Play Store. So this is just to confirm that indeed there is winner takes it all. And it's all about user experience. It's all about adaptation. And that's very important to understand. And this final article that I want us to understand here is that winners don't just take it all, but they keep it. They keep it all. So what we need to understand here is that, for example, a challenger to Google in search would have to offer an incentive or a noticeably better experience to attract new users over a long period, enough to break their Googling habit. Imagine that. So one of the largest companies in the world, which is Microsoft, back in 2013, they tried to challenge Google by coming up with a search engine known as Bing. And there's an estimation that they had losses of $11 billion. trying to compete in the search engine sector with Google. And needless to say, they lost miserably. So there is a winner take it all. That's the moral of the story. And we can see the trends already shaping right now with regulations, especially starting next week, about to be rolled out. These will be even more clearer with stablecoin regulations clarity, with more clarity on what is a security, what is a commodity, and how is or who can be able to custody, which products will be able to be launched, so on and so forth. These are all regulations that need to be put in place, specifically the staking part of the ETF, Ethereum ETF staking. That will be also another major catalyst as well. So with all of these things happening, the moral of the story is that there will be a winner, and this winner is going to take it all. Now, that's on a general industry level. How is that affecting us as a community? It's not enough to just have Ethereum as the blockchain that we deploy our smart contracts on to be a winner-take-all blockchain. That is great, but we as a community, we also have our 3 cryptocurrencies deployed on Ethereum. So these have to have certain characteristics to even make the most out of this. And that is, you need to identify the challenges in this industry. We discuss these often. And this is not the video to get into detail in that, but let's just summarize them. The first challenge is lack of liquidity. So your cryptocurrency, your ecosystem needs to somehow address and find out ways how to retain liquidity, because there's lack of it. Which mechanisms do you implement in your ecosystem, in your on your platform to retain that liquidity? The second challenge is inflation, like we discussed. Inflation is right now, even we're faced with inflation. So find out, implement mechanisms in place, and so that you create scarcity, right? At least deflationary. Be deflationary at least, but create scarcity. That challenge is staking. Staking plays a major role. So ensure that you have sustainable staking distributions without causing inflation. Finally is use your volume efficiently. You need to have a system in place that uses your volume efficiently. So make use of your volume. Don't just use it. Don't take advantage of the volume that your ecosystem is running through. Your volume is supposed to retain more liquidity, burn more supply to make it scarce, and retain USDC distributions, like it is in our case, to distribute to the stakers in an efficient and a sustainable manner without causing inflation. These are the challenges that, once addressed, will make the most out of this bull cycle that is about to take place. And as we see here, we see in the markets, we already see how Ethereum is starting to outpace Bitcoin. That's always an indicator that we're literally entering the altcoin season, where now we are about to really take off. And these final few months towards the end of the year are going to be vital. So this is not the time to second guess yourself. Pick your winning horse. Pick your winner-take-all blockchain and platform and ecosystem and stick with it, because now we have these few months remaining for the year to really be part of the wildest bull cycle we've yet to experience. That's it for today, community. I hope this session was of information to us. Like we always say, these sessions, none of these, what we say, are financial advice. It's strictly to inform, educate, and inspire us all. Let's use these sessions as a point of reference, and hopefully let me know in the comment section below, what's your opinion? How do you go about this, and how are you going to take advantage or make moves based on the information that we shared today? Thank you very much for today's session. Till we meet again. Bye-bye, everyone.